"We say," said Gertrude, "we believe that there is an intelligence that shapes our lives. If so, why not then act according to our beliefs?" We were in our studio packing our paints for the annual exodus. Let me see, 6 tubes of rose madder, 10 of burnt sienna. "Do you think you will need all that?" I questioned. "What do you expect to do in a tiny hired studio?" "Well, who knows? We might find a barn some day." Little we knew what was in store for us when, after 5 days of travel in our loaded car and hours at sea, the boat drew anchor at the dock. "Here we are," I said to Gertrude. "What next?" It all happened with great rapidity. A few weeks later, I was driving down Main Street with Gertrude when we ran into a herd of cows. There were over a dozen of them, with 2 dogs and a boy directing them. "What a nuisance," I said, slowing down to a snail's pace. The small boy, shouting and running ahead of the herd, drove them around a sharp corner onto a dirt road. The dogs followed, yapping behind. Without knowing why, I joined the procession. At the end of the street stood a large building. The cows made for it and disappeared around the corner of a huge building. It was our first view of the old barn. It was what is termed a salt box, gray and massive in line with a long lean-to roof. It had stood there over 60 years, and we were told was built to house a dozen or more cows, 8 horses, and several pigs. It was known to all the boys in the neighborhood, from its spacious brick cellar to the huge timbers in the hayloft. The cows had disappeared down Bull Lane. Even the dogs vanished. The place was oddly silent and empty. Then a horse and cart came clattering up the street, with a weather-beaten man huddling over the reins. Mustering up our courage, we followed. "Do you own the barn?" we asked the weather-beaten man. "Oh, no," he said. "The grocer down Main Street owns it." "Would he sell it?" I queried. "Many of the neighbors have wanted to buy it on account of the pigs," he said, sniffing the air significantly. We heard pigs wallowing contentedly in a small brick pen built for them under the old barn floor. It was late afternoon the same day when we reached Main Street. The grocer was alone in his store. He peered at us over his spectacles as we entered, then climbed down from his high stool. "Oh, no, we don't want vegetables," I said. "It's about your barn. We're painters, and we want a studio and a place to live." "Could you," my voice dropped to a whisper as I must appear calm, "sell it to us?" He shook his head. "Many people have tried to buy it," he said, "but I have not been willing to part with it. You see, it belongs to the old town." "We know that, but we're different," I blurted out. "We love that old barn." Quite slowly, he looked at us, this time through his spectacles. Then very quietly he said, my children, if you love it, I might sell it to you."